So it's almost a decade now I came into Lagos. And when I came into Lagos newly, I was living around somewhere called Ejigbo. So I lived within that area, within that environment. And when I started working, I was working within a mix of people, and I was making a decent earn in that period. I was making some good amount of money. And within the people I was living with, I was doing okay. I was doing good. I was making good enough money, and I was happy. I was comfortable with that amount as of that time. And then within a short period of time, I moved out of that location and I moved to a different location entirely. And I mingled around a different category of people and different class of people. And then I realized that that amount which I was making then, that I thought I was making good amounts of money, was peanut. Those people were making 3-4 times far much more than what I was making. And to me, it was a blown up to me. I said, oh, are you serious? People could actually make this kind of money? My mindset shifted, and I realized that actually people could actually make such kind of money. When I mingle within those sets of people, I started to think like them. I started to open my expectation. I started to believe that I could make more. I started to think that if people could make this kind of money, it means that I could also make. Then it shifted my ideas and my expectations and my exposure and what I need to start expecting or to start demanding for my job or for what I know I am valued or I am worth. Then guess what? I left that environment as well and moved to a different environment. This one blew me off. I realized that people were making, times 10 what I thought those other second set of people were making, that I was thinking it's good enough. So just imagine, from the first place I was making good amounts of money and I was thinking I was making good enough money. I moved to a different place entirely and reconnected, remember, with a different category of people. And I saw they were making 3-4 times more than what I was making. And I was thinking that was even good enough. Then I moved to a different place entirely and I realized those people were making even times 10 that amount of money. My mindset shifted and it changed entirely to realize that people could actually make such kind of money. It's really not a big deal to make this amount of money. All it means that the people I was with at that first instance gave me that particular notion that this amount is good enough. And when I moved to a different place, I realized that amount is not even good enough. And when I moved to a different location entirely, I realized also that amount is not good enough. What am I trying to say? Your exposure will determine your expectation. Now, some of you might be comfortable with smallness and your current level. Because why? Because of the area and the people you mingle with. If you change the environment, or if you open your mind, or if you give yourself a new exposure and a new experience, it will change your mindset to realize that actually there are better things out there, and there are better things you can do, or much more amount of money you can make, or you are worth much more than you think you are capable of earning or capable of making. But because of the environment and the class of people you mingle around with and the kind of people you relate with, it makes you think that amount or that thing you are doing is enough for you. To break it down further, if you have never been around people making 5, 10, 15 million naira, it will be so difficult for you to believe that you can make such amount of money. The places you are, the people you hang around with, the experiences you have, and the exposure you have currently is what will determine your expectations. Which means if you have a broader exposure and broader experience, you expect more. You believe you can make more. You believe you can gain more. If you are mingling around someone making 50,000 naira and maybe you are making 70,000 naira, you think it's okay by you. If you mingle around people making 200,000 naira and maybe you are making 250,000, you think it's okay by you. Till you leave that jurisdiction or you leave that gathering to move to people earning millions of naira, then you'll be challenged to see that there is actually more for you to make, and you're actually worth more, and you can actually make more money. If you have not seen people, if you have been around people wearing mediocre things or doing mediocre things, if you see someone putting on a wristwatch of 500,000 naira, you'll cry thief or you cry wolf. Why? Because to you that money is ridiculous for someone to buy, to spend on a wristwatch. Why would someone spend such amount of money? It's because of why you have been so engrossed within the mindset of the fact that people should make do with such amounts of money, or this is what people are making, thereby people that are not living within that jurisdiction should be spending money like you're thinking. It's actually not like that. I'm not trying to advocate reckless spending, all of that, but what I'm trying to talk about is exposure, experience, and expectations. If you don't have the right exposure and experience, your expectations will be poor. For you to open your mindset and expect more, you need to change your experience and your exposure. Best ways to expose your mind is by traveling. Travel to different places. If you have been in a particular state for a long period of time, you need to shift. You need to change that location. You need to change that location. If you have been in a particular country for a long period of time and you don't have the opportunity to travel to other countries, you need to start working on that. But let's say you don't have the resources. You might say, I don't have the money to go to this so-called country or to do this or to do that. The best way to do that is by reading the right books, the right content, the right material. If you spend the bunch of your time consuming social media jargons and things that add no relevant value to you, you have yourself to be blamed in the long and short of it all. When it comes to money and finances, get the right book that talks about money. One book that I usually recommend over and over again is one book by T. Half Acre that talks about the secret of the millionaire mind, or is it the millionaire secret? What is that book again? Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. That book is mind blowing when it comes to addressing the issue of money. If you read that book, it will change your perspective when it comes to how to make money, when it comes to managing money, and when it comes to opening your mindset regarding how much money you can make. The money is out there. It's all about you believing that you can make such amounts of money. If you don't believe that, you can't make it. And one of the ways you can do that is by opening your exposure. When you open your exposure, you can increase your expectations to be able to expect more. On Sunday, my pastor was sharing something in church regarding Pastor Ejigbo, that is Daddy Gio, as we fondly call him. He said when Daddy Gio started his ministry, he was thinking about having just 5,000 members in his church. Working towards that. He said 5,000 members is okay by it. Then he was working towards that. And when he traveled out, he went to a different church and he saw someone with 22,000 members. He came back, he increased his vision to 30,000 members. When he traveled to a different location, he saw another person with members of over 50,000 members. He came back and he increased his vision. What happened? By exposure, as he's exposing his mind or he's exposing his life to other things, to other places, to other experience, that on its own is enlarging his dream, his vision, and his mindset. The best way to enlarge your vision, your dream, and your mindset is to expose your mind to the right places, the right knowledge, the right material, and the right content. Also, the right people to help you to believe and to let you know that indeed you can make or you can do certain things that will place a cap on yourself because of the environment or because of the location you live into. You need to break out of such limits and then realize that you can be able to make more. One of the biggest problems most people have is that their exposures are so limited, thereby it limits their expectations. If your exposure is so limited to a particular place, jurisdiction, area, environment, things, doings, people, it will limit your expectations of things. You need to spend your time gathering information that will expose your mind, that will enlarge your expectations and eliminate smallness in your thinking and in your doings. Your mind is working 24/7 and it's limited only to the things you know. The things that you don't know can never occur to you or get into your mind to take action on them or to do them at all. The antidote for ignorance is study. That means when you study, you eliminate ignorance in your life and you eliminate limitations, some of the things that you are limited to. Because anything that you don't know, you can't do it. What you don't know, you can't do it. You need to be intentional in researching and in gathering knowledge and information. The greatest warfare we fight every day is warfare against self. Not even against the devil. Not even against anybody. It's against yourself. You are your own biggest enemy. And when I say you, I'm talking about your mind. Your mindset. That is where the battle begins. The battle starts and ends here. Once that is worked upon, once we can work upon this mind, every other thing is limitless. To make more money and do bigger things and expand your life You need to first of all expand your experience, your exposure, and all that comes with knowledge. If you expand your knowledge, you expand your experience, it will eliminate some smallness and some mediocrity and some challenges that you think, or things that makes you think things are impossible. All you need to do is, first of all, increase your knowledge by learning everything that is necessary for you to learn. If you're on the internet, if you're on social media, let it be that you are on that platform to gather information that are relevant for your career and what you are doing, and not just to burn away the time or while away the time doing things that are irrelevant or doesn't add tangible value to your future and your career. Don't live your life on a periphery level. Increase your expectations by increasing your experience and your knowledge bank.